I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Monday, January the 27th, 2014. Today marks International Holocaust Memorial Day. In its observance, the largest ever delegation from Israel's Knesset gathered at the Auschwitz-Birkenau death camps in Poland today. The Knesset group of 60 members was led by Coalition Chairman Yariv Levin of Likud Beitenu and Opposition Leader Isaac Herzog of the Labor Party. It also included Knesset ministers Naftali Bennett, Uri Ariel, Sofa Landver, and Amir Peretz. Accompanying the parliament members were 24 Holocaust survivors and their families, as well as 250 prominent public figures, including Israel's State Comptroller Yosef Shapira, Supreme Court Justice Eliakim Rubinstein, and Yad Vashem Chairman Avner Shalev. The Israeli delegation was joined by nearly 1,000 others, including members of the Parliament of Poland, as well as lawmakers from 12 other countries, including France, Germany, Hungary, Lithuania, Romania, and the UK, and a delegation from the United States, led by House of Representatives Majority Leader Eric Cantor of Virginia, Representative Darrell Issa of California, and Patrick McHenry of North Carolina. The Israeli delegation landed on 2 planes at the military airport in Krakow this morning before heading to the Auschwitz concentration camp for a tour of the prisoner blocks and the Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum. They later marched to the Birkenau death camp where a memorial ceremony was held on behalf of the Polish government. Israel's opposition leader Isaac Herzog had said in a statement ahead of the visit, "We are traveling to Poland in order to remember, remind, learn, and teach a lesson." Speaking at the site today, Herzog said the memory of what happened in Auschwitz cannot be forgotten, and called on the Jewish people to be self-reliant and to develop a strong society that, quote, is just, brave, and upholds peace and social justice. Israel's Speaker of the Knesset, Yuli Edelstein, was supposed to be leading the delegation to Auschwitz. However, he was forced to withdraw from the visit following the death of his wife last week. Tatiana Edelstein passed away late Thursday night after battling a serious illness. She was 63. She was laid to rest Friday at the Alon Shvut Cemetery in Gush Etzion in the West Bank. Tatiana was an advocate for immigration to Israel while still living in the former Soviet Union, where she also taught Hebrew. After moving to Israel, she worked as an engineer at the Civil Aviation Authority. She and the Knesset Speaker were married for 33 years. She is also survived by 2 children. And United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon released a statement today for International Holocaust Remembrance Day, where he recalled his own journey to Auschwitz and warned against the dangers of the Holocaust repeating itself. Ban said he would never forget what he saw at the death camp, the, quote, horrific remnants of the machinery of genocide.
We must be ever vigilant against bigotry, extremist ideologies, communal tensions, and discrimination against minorities. And we must teach our children well. Standing near the crematorium at Auschwitz, I felt deeply saddened by all that had happened within. But I was also inspired by all those who liberated the death camps for all humanity. Let us join forces today on a shared journey to a world of equality and dignity for all.
A roadside bomb exploded this morning near the border fence between Israel and the southern Gaza Strip. The bomb detonated near an IDF military vehicle that was patrolling the fence. However, there was no injury or damage caused to the vehicle. This follows a similar incident last week when a device was detonated near the border fence on Tuesday, also with no injury. Meanwhile, several Lebanese media outlets reported that an IDF soldier was wounded by an explosion along Israel's border fence with Lebanon in the north. The IDF, however, told the Jerusalem Post today that it was not aware of any such incident. The Times of Israel reports some tensions in the Israeli Knesset today over remarks reportedly made by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu regarding allowing Jewish settlers to stay in the West Bank under potential Palestinian rule. The news site had reported yesterday, citing an official in the Prime Minister's office, that Netanyahu doesn't intend to uproot Jewish settlements anywhere in the West Bank and won't force settlers to leave the area even under a permanent peace deal with the Palestinians, further saying that settlers would be given the choice of staying and living under Palestinian rule or relocating to areas under Israeli sovereign rule. Israel's Economy and Trade Minister Naftali Bennett was among several in the Israeli government who criticized Netanyahu's statements. Bennett posted on his Facebook page, "We did not return to the land of Israel after 2,000 years of longing in order to live under the government of Mahmoud Abbas." An unnamed official told Israel Radio that those who disagreed with Netanyahu were welcome to step down from their positions if they choose. Another Prime Minister's office official quoted in Israeli media said that Bennett was, quote, irresponsibly harming national interests and diplomatic procedures intended to expose the true face of the Palestinian Authority in exchange for media coverage, suggesting that Netanyahu's remarks were for rhetorical purposes and that Bennett's comments were undermining Netanyahu's efforts in proving to the international community that it is the Palestinian Authority who pose an obstacle to peace. Reuters reports that Palestinian hackers are suspected of breaking into a defense ministry computer in Israel yesterday. Chief Technology Officer at Israeli cybersecurity firm SecuLert, Aviv Raf, claims the hackers carried out the attack by way of a tainted email attachment that looked like it had been sent by the Shin Bet, Israel's security agency. Raf told Reuters that Palestinians were suspected to be behind the cyber attack, citing similarities to a previous assault on Israeli computers over a year ago from a server in Gaza. This latest attack was conducted from a server in the U.S., but Raf said that there were several similarities. And while Israeli officials have not commented on Raf's statements in the Reuters report, the Jerusalem Post reports today that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did address the issue of cybersecurity at an Israeli cyber tech conference in Tel Aviv today. Globes quotes Netanyahu saying that there should be a sort of UN for the Internet, a coalition of the leading companies in the cyber world, and that in his opinion, Israel is the most advanced in this field. The Prime Minister expressed his hopes of, quote, turning the Internet from a curse to a blessing, and shared his plans for the recently formed cyber division in the city of Beersheba in Israel's Negev. Netanyahu had inaugurated the National Cyber Center a few months ago, set to be a world-class technology center utilizing the academic support of nearby Ben Gurion University, as well as IDF computer units and private industry. Netanyahu said today the cyber division was formed so we can share these abilities with others, a plan, he said, that will allow for the growth of hundreds of cyber tech companies that would not have existed otherwise. The Prime Minister said we all want to see a cyber world that is open, free, and cooperative.
Like most actors, my real job is saving the world.
Actress Scarlett Johansson responded to some criticism this weekend over her role as spokeswoman for the Israeli company SodaStream, a company that has been the target of the BDS, or Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement because of the factory it operates in the West Bank. Johansson, who is Jewish, signed on to work with SodaStream as its first global brand ambassador and has remained committed to her role despite criticism from BDS supporters, but has not made any statements about it until now. Last week, the Oxfam aid organization released a statement about Johansson, who also serves as ambassador for their cause, saying that they were now considering the implications of the actress's association with SodaStream in regards to her Oxfam role. Johansson released a statement on Saturday in response, saying, "I remain a supporter of economic cooperation and social interaction between a democratic Israel and Palestine." She said SodaStream is committed to building a bridge to peace between Israel and the Palestinians, supporting both Israeli and Palestinian employees working together, receiving equal pay, benefits, and rights. She said, as part of my efforts as an ambassador for Oxfam, I have witnessed firsthand that progress is made when communities join together and work alongside one another. And turning to our Shalom TV programming for tonight, Monday, January the 27th, coming up at 7, a new segment of the Wisdom of Dr. Ruth Westheimer, followed at 7:30 by New Jewish Cinema featuring Eve Annenberg, director of Romeo and Juliet in Yiddish. Then at 8:30, American Jewish Committee Executive Director David Harris addresses the Los Angeles World Affairs Council. And at 9, Naftali Moses joins Mark Golub on L'chaim, where he discusses his life after the murder of his son at the Merkaz Harav killings in Jerusalem in 2008. And a programming note for tomorrow, when Shalom TV will bring you live from Lincoln Center a memorial tribute to philanthropist Edgar Bronfman. That's at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday night, here on Shalom TV and shalomtv.com. And that's Shalom TV News Update from Monday, January the 27th, 2014. I'm Teisha Bader.